Imagine being called into the royal palace not to treat a living king, but to manage the secrets he left behind. Madrid, 1833. King Ferdinand VII is dead. Spain's most feared ruler has finally fallen silent. But in the shadows of his court, whispers still echo. Whispers of a monarch cursed from birth, haunted by shame, and driven by paranoia so deep it poisoned an entire kingdom. Tonight, we're uncovering the story of Ferdinand VII, a king whose private struggles bled into public disaster, shaping Spain's fate in ways few dared to speak aloud. To understand Ferdinand, we need to start with his ancestry. Spain's royal families had spent centuries intermarrying to preserve power. Cousins wed cousins, uncles married nieces, generation after generation. What they created was less a dynasty and more a genetic trap. Ferdinand, born in 1784, was a child of this system. From the moment he entered the world, the odds were stacked against him. He inherited not just a crown, but fragile health, unstable temperament, and the weight of centuries of inbreeding. The young prince grew up in a palace riddled with betrayal. His father, King Charles IV, was often absent, more interested in hunting than ruling. His mother, Queen Maria Luisa, was openly involved with her favorite courtier, Manuel de Godoy. Surrounded by gossip, humiliation, and a fractured family, Ferdinand developed a deep insecurity. He was mocked quietly by servants, whispered about by foreign diplomats, and left with a sense of isolation that hardened into cruelty. Like every royal, Ferdinand was expected to produce heirs. But marriage for him became a nightmare. His first wife, Maria Antonia of Naples, was young, hopeful, and unprepared for life with the troubled king. Their union was marked by tension, fear, and repeated tragedy. Twice she conceived. Twice she lost the child. Within a few years she was gone, officially from illness, but many suspected the stress of life beside Ferdinand played its part. He remarried, but history repeated itself. Wives fell ill, wasted away, and died young. Whether from genuine sickness, emotional exhaustion, or sheer despair, the result was the same. No surviving heir, and a king growing more paranoid with each loss. By the 1820s, Ferdinand's reign was defined less by governance and more by suspicion. He trusted no one. Ministers were dismissed at the slightest hint of disloyalty. Servants were interrogated. Even his own queens lived under constant surveillance. Letters were intercepted. Meals were tested again and again for poison. Palace walls were fitted with peepholes so Ferdinand could spy on his family in secret. He was convinced plots surrounded him on every side: foreign powers, liberal reformers, even his own blood. While Ferdinand obsessed over loyalty and betrayal, Spain itself was unraveling. The empire's colonies in the Americas rose in revolt one after another. Vast territories, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, broke free. The Spanish treasury drained, the army faltered, and the people grew restless. But Ferdinand's attention never left his private struggles. Instead of saving an empire, he spent his energy on controlling his household and forcing fragile queens to bear heirs. By the late 1820s, Ferdinand's health was failing. He grew gray, weak, and even more unstable. His fourth marriage, to Maria Cristina of Naples, finally produced a child, Isabella. But whispers swirled. Some claimed the baby wasn't his at all, but Ferdinand clung to the illusion. To the court, Isabella was Spain's future. To Ferdinand, she was both salvation and torment, the daughter he desperately needed, and a daily reminder of his deepest insecurities. On September 29, 1833, Ferdinand VII died. Officially, the cause was gout. But in truth, it was years of paranoia, despair, and the slow collapse of his body and mind. His legacy was one of failure. Spain emerged from his reign broken, its empire shattered, its people weary. He is remembered not as a builder of nations, but as a king consumed by his own private demons. Ferdinand's story is a cautionary tale. Power can command armies, build palaces, and silence critics, but it cannot cure shame, trauma, or fear. A crown may hide weakness for a time, but in the end, even kings cannot escape themselves. History hides some disturbing truths. Follow for more stories they never taught us in school.